Fusion Radio on another wonderful weekend when we celebrate the awesome people right here on this radio station, man. And man, you know, I'm super geeked up as usual, man, to chime in and man, introduce some dope people to you, man. So this one right here that's online with me and YTS Keats, man, on support, man, has been here before, but it's been a little minute, man, since he's been here, man. He reminded me when I was escorting a man from the parking lot, man. It's been a minute since I've been to this radio station, man. And so, man, excited to have my brother, man, Preacha Pat in the building, man. Welcome back to Fusion Radio, family.
What's up, man?
So, man, like, first, let's get a little bit into your movement, man. Who is Preacha Pat, man? When we hear the name Preacha Pat, what should we know?
Man, wow, artist, music producer, songwriter, and just, you know, godson, you know, one of the Kingdom kids, man. So just doing our thing, man, letting people know that, hey, man, you know, it's good music even in the gospel, you know.
Most definitely. So for the people that's not really familiar with your movement and stuff like that, like me, like, how did you come up with your name? Because when Brian first, you know, me and Brian, we always talk about the show and like different people we gonna have on the show. And when he brought up your name, you know, it made me think of Project Pat. So I'm like, I want to ask, like, how did you end up coming up with your name?
Well, I'm a pastor in real life. So one of my homies used to always call me Preacha Pat. Y'all probably know Ed Crosby at 1570 AM. And, you know, it was his nickname he used to always give me because originally it was his preacher, but it's like just too many preachers out there. So then I spelled it different, you know. Then I say, he called me Preacha Pat all the time, so it was kind of stuck with me. So he's like, Preacha Pat, Preacha Pat, Preacha Pat. So it was like, okay, all right. So it kind of stuck, you know. So Ed Crosby, shout out to Ed, my brother Ed Crosby. He really responsible for that day, man. He responsible for that one.
That's kind of cool, though, because you say you an actual preacher outside of, like, your music and stuff like that. So what made you, like, want to actually do music, too, though? Or, like, matter of fact, a better question is, which one came first? Was it the music or was it preaching?
It was the music, man. But, you know, God always sowed the seed. First, he deposited in you what he had for you to do before you even born. So he already put that in you. Then I was doing, you know, secular music like anybody else. And so when you cross over, you know, you don't do both. You know, you cross over, you do both. Then that means, you know, Al Green, he doing R&B and he doing preaching. So no, you stick to one side, you know what I'm saying? You don't try to flirt with both sides. You pick one or the other.
Okay. So was it was it a certain type of stigma that came behind that? Like when you like started really getting in depth with your music and like people know that you being a preacher, like did they try to make you move a certain type of way with your music or like did it come natural?
It's natural. But you know, I have performed it like, this is gonna be funny, man. We performed at a church way out in, I think one say Lansing, Illinois or something. And the judges was the hardest critics, man. They was like, man, your music is not church enough. And it was funny to me because I don't really make my music for church people. I make it for the people that's not saved. You know, my thing is I'm going out to the lost sheep. I'm not making my music for people that's already going to church. I'm making my music for the people that don't go to church. If that makes sense.
It makes sense to me, but like for the people that's out there listening and stuff like that, could you just go in a little depth with that and really explain what you mean by that? Because I feel like personally that explains you as an artist and why you make music and actually why you make the type of music you do. So I feel like people need to really understand that because then that actually brings people in a little bit closer to you and your story of why you do what you do in some type of way.
Yeah, so basically, you know, the people in church already have a relationship. So you're looking for the youngsters or those who may not have a relationship to say, well, man, cool, this sounds so dope. And most people, it slipped through the cracks because of my writing style and some of my beats. People don't think that it's actually gospel music. I remember Centoria Green, shout out to Centoria Green in California. She did a radio show one time. We did some stuff. She's like, yeah, but I got this thing going on Sunday. I was like, you can play it Sunday. She's like, huh? I was like, you can play my music on Sunday. She didn't know it was a gospel song. The song was called Believe. And when she actually went back and had to listen to the lyrics, she's like, wow, because some of my writing style is so elusive that you really not paying attention to it, it'll get by you. But if you keep on listening to it, man, like anything else, I'm sure y'all heard songs y'all hate. Like, I don't even like this song. Why am I singing this song? Because it gets, you know, into your subconscious, whatever case may be. So my thing is subconsciously, you know, metaphorically, categorically, you know what I'm saying? I want to be able to spiritually impose my will, which is God's will, on those who really don't know God. So you want to be able to grab those who regularly don't go to church to make you say, well, man, I'm actually listening to a gospel song and it sounds fly enough for me to rock. I can bump it in my car. I can play it on my way to work, or I can play it when I'm feeling blue. I can feel it, you know what I'm saying, when I'm working out, you know, when I'm doing my thing. So you want to be able to get those people that really don't listen to traditional music all the time to cross over, because I wasn't traditional. I didn't grow up in the church. So my thing was, I want to get the people to be able to cross over, bridge that gap between those that's in the world and those that's in the world.
So I want to get into this whole movement about Kingdom Boy Entertainment.
Yes, sir.
What
Yes,
do
sir.
we know about Kingdom Boy Entertainment?
Man, look, Kingdom Boy Entertainment was something that was birthed years ago. You know, myself right now, I'm the only artist, but I plan on working with other artists in the future, bringing other likes of talents, be it poetry, songwriters, people who play violins, people that have, you know, artistic, like, any gift that's arts, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes, man, it's so dummy down because, you know, you either have to pick a lane, you know what I'm saying? You know, you shouldn't have to pick a lane. You should be able to be free to express yourself in any genre, any music, any category, and still represent who you represent. And people not really be so hard or so judgmental about what you really represent, but to be able to have a kingdom mindset to be able to go and say, you know what, if Pat doing it, then I can do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I got a buddy of mine, really talented individual, man. He shoot music videos, he do this, he do that, he rap, he sings. So this year, he released a gospel album. And it was amazing to me because, you know, sometimes people have it in them, but it's something that they need to get out of them. You know what I'm saying? All the fear and all the things that the roadblocks that people say, oh, you shouldn't do that because you was rapping about drugs and killing. But okay, and if he wanted to change his life to show people another light, to show people that, you know, hey, I can be still transparent and let y'all know that I'm real and I believe in God just like y'all do, then I think that it's cool. I think it's fly.
Well, man, let's get an example, man, of your latest single, man. Talk to us about what inspired Extraordinary.
Man, I'm going to tell you, shout out to Eric Williams, chef over East 53rd, Virtue, Soul Food, good friend of mine, childhood friend. We went to church together. And one day I was having a conversation with Ian, like, hey, da-da-da-da. He's like, yeah, Pat, I am ordinary, but God is extraordinary. And years later, I was just doing me, walking through the kitchen. And, man, I heard the beat. I heard the words. I heard everything. It just came together. Shout out to JJ, JR. Making, man, he on the beat, JD on the track. So we got together, man, and it was magic, but it was a conversation I had with Eric Williams.
You ain't finna do that. Because I already know what you think. I already know. You stop laughing. Come on.
Double R in the building. Right. What's up? What's up?
Because we don't have no license just yet.
When I'm inspired, I heard the track play out the way it played out, even how he stopped and dropped stutter, you know, and took that from Biggie from back in the day. But man, you know, I was thinking to myself, no ordinary love, because his love is not ordinary. You know what I'm saying? His love ain't ordinary at all, so it's extraordinary. So that's the real meaning behind it, man. He's extraordinary. Oh yeah, before I forget, don't forget, go YouTube, Preacha Pat. The video is out. We just dropped the video last week. Check out Extraordinary, the video, YouTube, Preacha Pat.
It's like, with your type of music, it's like, I like your type of music. Because it's like, it's basically what I do though, but it's like, it's like a different form. It's a totally different form. Like, I ain't hear not a cuss word. I didn't hear like, you like, talking about certain things, but it's like at the same time you was still giving off a message and you was still trying to express something. And it wasn't even so much like, yeah, it was based around God and like stuff like that, but it wasn't just all about God either though. If you actually listen to the words and what you were saying, it wasn't just solely about just talking about God though. That's why I like it though, because it's like, okay, it's a different approach to hip hop. You feel me?
Yeah.
So, and like I always tell the different guests that come in and stuff like that, like music is no one way to make music. Right. So when people come with different types of hip hop or different forms of music, it's like, it's interesting to me because I'm like, okay, that's something new. It ain't the norm. It ain't just something you see every day. That's something interesting. It's something to get behind.
Yeah.
So like, one thing I wanted to ask you though, because I see that you're a God-fearing man and like you real like strong on your beliefs. Was it always like that, or was it something that like, I ain't gonna necessarily say force you to go that route, but was it something that changed your mind?
This against some Christian rappers, they only do it because they didn't make it in real hip hop.
That's crazy. I never thought about it like that.
Right. They only just like, you know, that's like an easier lane for them to go jump into because the numbers are different and they figure they cater to a different audience. They still skilled and they still good at what they do, but they only switch lanes sometimes only because they really wasn't good enough to make it secularly.
Because I ain't gonna lie, when I was listening to your song, I was sitting there thinking to myself, like, man, not even so much could I see myself making that type of song, or it was so much of, do I think I'm actually good enough to actually make a song like that and it actually sound like something? Because I feel like with music, it's a lot of different ways to make music, but everybody can't make music in some type of way, if you get what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I get it. I know what you're saying.
Like for example, like, everybody can't sing like Beyonce,
right, or
like Whitney Houston or something like that. Like, it's a lot of people that try, but it'll never be that. Right. So I was listening to your song, I'm like, man, I probably, if I was to go that route, I'd probably have to really sit down and write those.
But you know what, I was, you know, and it's a gift. It's just a gift. Writing is easy for me. So, you know, I used to go on break in the lunchroom, man. I write 5 or 6 songs on break. So the writing part is easy. So it's just a gift, man. And I remember I had Danny Boy. Shout out to Danny Boy. He came to the studio. We did some stuff, and he's like, "Man, you write your style. Your writing is so different." Because he's like, I sat down and wrote his verse right in front of him. He laid the verse down. He's like, "Bro, you just wrote that right in front of me." I'm like, "Yeah, that's easy." I mean, but you know, like you say, it's a mindset, but it's also a gift. I don't take it for granted. I know it's a gift.
Most definitely. So, with you speaking on that and touching on it a little bit, like, one thing I try to ask, like, new artists or, like, people that I just met for the first time being artists, like, I try to ask them what's their process of making music, because everybody processes differently. Like, for example, I might sit back, smoke a blunt or something, you feel me? Just sit back and then write some lyrics like that, or just, like, go outside, enjoy myself, and then come back home and then write some lyrics. So, like, once you sit down and really be like, okay, I want to make a song, or I want to at least write something down, or, like, jot something down, what's your process as far as like?
A couple of things. This song was like inspired. I'm just walking. I'm at home by myself, so I just heard the whole thing play out in my head out of a conversation that was years prior. So sometimes, I got another one finna bring. Oh God, Jesus Christ! This one man, this kid named Dangerous. Shout out to Dangerous. Rebel Music, my Jamaica homie, he in Jamaica, man, doing this thing. I produced this Jamaican track. You talking about bananas? Oh God! But it was like 2:00 in the morning. I'm chilling, and I got to stop what I'm doing, run down the hall to my studio and do the beat because if I don't do it now, I'm gonna lose it. So sometimes it's just like it hit me right now. I got to do it, or I work with several other talented producers. It's like I might hit something like, bro, that's hard. I need that. Send that to me. So it's like it's either I led, inspired at that moment to do it, or I might hit something hot enough, be like, I can write to that. So sometimes I write to something, or more or less I hit something in my head and just go play it out, and it's various ways.
So you also make beats and stuff too?
Yeah.
Okay, so that gives us a little bit more to go into as far as like the whole music thing. So like making beats, I know like like when you a producer, it's all different type of beats you can make. So
right.
I know you don't specifically just sit there and be like,
nah,
okay,
whatever comes to mind, whatever comes up comes out. Like that Jamaican joint is nuts. It just came that way. I don't have another Jamaican song in my catalog, but that's the only one that I was blessed and inspired to do it at 2 o'clock in the morning. I mean, so it's just whatever hits me at that time.
See, that's exactly. I'm glad you said that though, because I have producers and friends that I make music with and stuff like that, and they say the same thing. Like they don't go into a beat thinking about what kind of beat they're gonna make. It just like kind of just goes just off like different instruments they use or like different like patterns and different.
Sometimes it's the mood, like whatever mood you're in.
Exactly.
I produced a Steppers joint. I haven't produced another Steppers joint. It's smoking. I mean, but it's just whatever mood, whatever I'm feeling at the time.
So like, do you like? Is it more so like how you saying you could shoot on and you was producing a track for the Jamaican but so is it always like that? Like you just come up with the beat off the ripper, or like you got beats already that you just got in stores that you just have people doing stuff like that?
Well, let me say, the beats that I've done that are my better beats are not the ones I just sit down and make. It's the ones that I'm inspired to make. Yeah, I don't, I can sit down and make a bunch of them, and, I might hit in the miss, but the ones who, like, if I just hear something that's out of the blue, I got to do it right now, that type of thing, them be the ones that's hot. They like smoking hot because it's inspired, you know what I'm saying? So it's like something inside of you trying to get out of you.
Okay, so like, with you being the artist that you are and making like the gospel music and stuff like that, how do you feel about like just like other people that make music? I know like you don't like necessarily shun them or like you don't frown upon that type of music, but like how do you feel so much of like the scene in Chicago specifically or like just music in general? Like how do you feel about that other side?
It depends, man. I'm all for positivity, I'm all for the art, all for the love of it. I just don't like the negativity. The negative stuff is just not my thing. Anything positive, man, I'm all down.
So I want to jump into this video, man, but extraordinary, man. Let's go through the whole process of putting that together.
Man, let me tell you what happened. Dr. Robert Scott got a cousin that she bought a Catholic school or something, man. So this lady, man, I went years ago, they was having this, event, and they got courtyards and all type of stuff. So I remember these different rooms in this place, man. And she has her main service downstairs, which used to be the gymnasium, but she had a chapel on the second floor with nothing in it. So when I did the video, guess what I shot? I shot the chapel with nothing in it because I didn't want the traditional church scene with pews, organs, drums. I didn't want that. I wanted something different. And it's old Catholic school, so it's 1800s. So some stuff that you can't probably find ever again in life. I mean, so it was like one of those historical pieces. And it's me having a conversation with God. It's, what I'm saying? So it's like one of my friends, he's like, well, sometimes when you shoot your videos, you tell a story more like a movie. I'm like, this ain't that. This personal. This between me and him. This ain't a movie.
That's good, man. So, man, outside of this video, outside of you being a preacher, man, all these awesome things going on, man, what else can we expect from you in 2023?
Man, listen, I was just telling that my homie, shout out to Danger Russ, Rebel Music. He's on his way back from Jamaica. We got a track that we get ready to do. Man, it's just so much, man. Crazy Mob, shout out to Lefty, JJ, DY. They down there working with Future. A lot of the Chicago producers. He's from Chicago, actually. I know that's Kiva's son. And Malik Worthy, he played guitars. I got a rock track. Oh, God. First thing I thought, like, I thought like, man, like a rave like type song. It gives you one, it gives you one of them. So I called one of my friends. I said, hey man, you still plug with Willow Creek? You know, Willow Creek is the big, Caucasian church. Man, I want to go out there and shoot a video with all the kids, man. It's like just art. It's like having fun. You know what I'm saying? Different expressions from rock to blues to reggae to hip hop to soul to praise and worship. I mean, so the album is going to be bananas, man. It's going to be full of everything that I think that will be effective, and I think everybody will appreciate the body of work. So yeah, we gonna drop the album toward the end of the year, so it's gonna be hot.
Well, brother, man, it's always a pleasure, man.
Likewise.
Chiming in with you, man.
Yes, sir.
Give us some good inspirational tunes, along with some great inspirational words and everything, man. So this last track we gonna jump into, man. When I hear Liberty, I think of My Liberty with Yolanda Adams and all that stuff and whatsoever. That's what I think of, man. Hey, look, I can't have it, Keith. I work for a gospel station. Been working for a gospel station for 17 years overnight. So I hear all type of songs, man, from past and from the current and everything. So this song Liberty, man, what's your spin on it, and take us in as to what we should know about it.
It's just like one of them true stories, man. That when you first get saved, you on fire, you want to tell everybody about them, you know what I'm saying? And in certain instances, you shy away from it because the judgmental side of it, people judge you because you this or you that. So it was one of them songs to say, man, I'm free to be who I want to be. I got liberty.
That's what's up, man. Well, let's jump into it, man. Social media wise, man, how can they stay on?
Shout out to Double R, David Roberts. What's up, D? What's going on, man?
Social media wise, man, how can they stay all up in tune in your business?
Man, Preacha Pat on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Also, man, it's just, man, go to YouTube, check out Extraordinary. Y'all got to check out Preacha Pat Extraordinary, IG, of course, Facebook. Those are the main ones I usually use.
So I know I'm finna get in trouble because this came to me as I was going to work it out, yes, man. And those that know me know that there's quirky things that come into my mind.
We in trouble, y'all. We got the perfect take
so, you said you was a preacher, man. Can you just on the spot, man, just give us some whooping and some hollering or something? Just real quick, man. We can shout one time. Don't put your head down. You knew I was gonna do it. Don't put your head down.
I'm not one of those.
You're not one of them preachers.
I teach.
All right, well then, give us a little short teaching. In about 60 seconds. Something powerful that hits right here in the chest.
All right.
What you got for us?
Well, I'm gonna give you this one right here.
Here we go.
And faith is one of those things that you can't see, you can't touch, can't smell, you can't recognize it. It's something that you gotta have a relationship with God to build upon, so that you know that He'll come through in any situation, any circumstance that you're in. But if you don't know who He is, it's hard. So religion has made one of those things where, it's placed so many barriers. You got Church of God in Christ, you got Apostolic, you got Baptist, you got all these different things that keep us divided, but it's one Lord, one faith, one baptism. So usually what happens is people are so confused. I got a friend of mine who studied like 3 or 4 different religions, so he's never had a real relationship with God because he don't really know who God is or what God is to him, because he's trying to find God. He's trying to search out God. And I tell people, man, don't let religion be the thing that tie you down. You need a relationship with God. And the only way you can get faith is you got to have a real committed relationship with this guy. When you open the Bible up every single day and you spend time in His Word, it speaks back to you. And that's truth. If you don't have a relationship with God, you need to build your relationship with God. And that's how faith comes. Faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the Word of God.
Yeah, if I was on the organ, I'd go,
You get the organ, man. You get the organ. Yeah, you got the shout music going.
Don't do that.
Get the shout music going.
Don't put your head down and laugh at me, man. Look, yes.
Get the shout music going.
Yeah, man. I got the shout music going.
Yeah.
Now, you know what's crazy is back in the day, we actually had an experience. Like, my co-host back in the day, man, we was in the parking lot. And I tell you, like, man, ministry can happen at any time. He doesn't feel like he's an apostle, but, he speaks, and his words definitely resonate. And so, I couldn't grab the dump music quick. And I had it on CD. Right, just in case, in case. I can't carry with me, just in case.
You had ready.
Just in case Apostle, we got a power.
You had ready.
Just in case he do one of
Nick, what up, cuzzo? What's up, baby?
Just in case he do one of those. Man. Watch this. All right, man, let's go into your song, man. Your song is called Liberty. my co-host YTS is gonna be
YTS.
laughing at
Brian
me.
Stinson.
It's Fusion Radio. Man.
Fusion Radio, yeah. What you gonna do with him, man?
I don't know, man.
You need prayer. That's what you need, man.
Nah, it's like, you don't be doing nothing wrong.
Yeah.
You get your own little
It is so
Nah, dude, when you guys talk about the Lord, I can see you at church. That's why I got I'm like, I can see you sitting there.
Need prayer, man. Need prayer, man.
But you know, it's somebody else. You know, if somebody that's sitting on their life, like, what is he gonna say something to? Because I was gone for about 5 minutes. They probably thought it was like, hey, this kid's doing something like this. Let me get past the phone. We have at least one.
We definitely have some.
I'm gonna go there. You guys gonna get there. You like to do this. Okay, once I end this live, I'm gonna bring you up. Yep. We're gonna go straight into you. No. I mean, you can hold it up if you want for the live. It's up to you.
Lord, I need you to break every